What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Card Advantage video. I'm Jacob and I'm joined by Sean. Today we're going to be following up on some more gameplay with the Sandscour Great Bow list. If you haven't, go check out our last gameplay video with Lexi and Oldham, as well as our deck tech itself on our channel that will link up here in the video. Today we're going to be playing against Dromai, some of the more difficult matchups for this deck. We want to showcase me getting stomped, basically. But we do want to show, if you are into these matchups, what things you should be trying to focus on. And if your opponent does give you openings, you can eke out wins every once in a while. But just in general, we want to be fair with the deck. And it's very clearly a unfavorable matchup into Dromai. And we win some percentage points into the rest of the meta because of that. But I think there's still value in showing these, so hopefully you guys enjoy. For my sideboarding, we're taking out Immobilizing Shots, Remembrance, and Barbed Undertows. While it is true that there are a lot of turns that get turned off with Barbed Undertow against Dromai with how much she wants to pitch reds, we just have some other cards that we prefer, like Remorseless turning off defense reactions from Arsenal is very relevant a lot of the time. And a lot of our other arrows are also pretty relevant, so... And additionally, Dromai can just have turns where she plays Burn Them All or Chromai, and then Arsenal's her last card. And Barb didn't really do anything. So the consistency purposes is why we take that out and we go to 64 cards. And then, Sean, what kind of stuff are you taking out of this list?
Yeah, so I'm taking out the Pursuit of Knowledge because it's obviously not the mirror. I'm not going to get openings to play this, and it's a block 2. Remembrance because I don't expect to have to refresh cards. Dust from the Red Desert. Again, I don't expect to get popped. I don't expect to have issues with Ash generation, and I don't expect to have to set up a non-dragon board state. I think the only controversial thing here is that I'm taking out the Red Embermaw Centipes instead of the Tome of Findalls or the Red Dust-Ups. And the purpose for that is I think that setting up a Dust Up is just a more impactful one-card turn, especially if he doesn't dominate me and I block with 3 cards and I slap it down. That's very problematic for Sandscour Great Bow Azalea. And for the same reason that Tome of Findall is good, I just think that if Sandscour Great Bow Azalea takes 1 turn off to clear dragons, and I have that Tome of Findall in Arsenal, I just automatically win the game. So that's what we're going to go with. Yeah, and this is Yuha's list from the top 4 of Pro Tour, I believe. It was a 3rd place finish. Excellent job by Yuha.
Yeah, so as we've noted in other gameplay video, when we're testing matchups like this, we want the deck that's being tested, in this case Azalea, to be in the harder positions. So in this matchup, it's favored when you go first, as Dromai. It's not favored for Azalea when she goes first, but it's less unfavored. So we're going to have Dromai go first in this game just to make sure that we're getting the most out of our testing.
Yeah, and this one is, this is obviously a more dragon-oriented list, which I expect Jacob to just fold to, quite honestly. Yeah, I've got a very, very strong opening hand. To the point where I may not end up with an Arsenal. I think some people are going to have controversy in how I play this. But yeah, so let's go ahead and Sweeping Blow, creating an Ash token. Go fetch that from the tokens deck.
Okay. We'll go ahead and block 3.
All right, and then after that, I'm going to Rake the Embers, and I am going to just create an Ash off of that and not actually use it to create Ash Wings. And then I'm going to slap down an Azalea, and I'm going to swing for 1 and 2.
Okay, we'll take 1 Arcane. We are a little bit lucky having the Battering on opening hands. So we'll go ahead and pop that. And then I'm also going to pitch Eye of Ophidia to Quiver before the
I actually think every Dromai player on the planet is not going to attack there, but I guess you guys can yell at me in the comments of the video. So
That might be the
um,
case because you're really
yeah,
only making one on
I've
game.
never seen a Dromai player actually swing, because the bigger threat
Yeah,
to you here is if I maintain board state,
this might be a
and
take
then
back
you have to
moment, to be
choose. Yeah, this
honest.
is for sure a take back moment. You have to hold the battering bolt, I think.
Yeah.
Which frankly you will still be able to hold in hand for next turn.
Hmm.
Like I'm not actually nuking your game plan, but you just gain one because you never took arcane. So this is it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna pitch I to Quiver here though, so I'm gonna opt
Yep.
to first.
Mm-hmm.
We want that inertia on top, and then we'll put Heatseeker here and reveal and break the Quiver.
Yeah, Heatseeker is very big here.
That's pretty big for sure. Um,
It's
I'll
quite the
draw
opening
two.
hand to see eye and battering bolt.
I did shuffle. I'll put Tunic on one. We would like to try to dominate something. So if we were to try to dominate on this turn, I would have to opt with Read the Glide Path first. And if I didn't see an arrow on top, it's pretty bad because I don't have an arrow in hand that I would like to shoot. So I think we're going to do a little bit of setup here. We're going to be pitching into Great Bow. We still get to peek, so if there is an arrow on top, we can dominate it. We don't see an arrow. We do want to load the battering face up. It's a popper, but sandbagging cards is just not great as far as card economy goes, and the board state isn't very big.
Why wouldn't you just shoot the Heatseeker at this and then hold this in hand? Like
Uh,
you would still get to a 6-card hand that way. You'd clear my board state, and then you'd still have the popper ready.
that's true, but Azalea is less scary, and I want to threaten as much damage as I can early while you don't have a board state.
Okay.
So if this was like Chromai or Kyloria, I think that's definitely 100% of the time, but Azalea is like right on the border for me as far as threat assessment goes.
Gotcha.
I will load this, and then I will inertia the Heatseeker. Let's see. That will put it to 8. If I use my last pump, it goes to 11, and there's a very real chance you can just full block that easily. So we're just going to send the Heatseeker for 8 at you. It requires 2 cards and equipment or 3 cards, and ends with me having 2 cards in arsenal. So I think I'm okay with this for now.
I'll take 8 here.
Okay. I'm punished for not throwing my last buff, but that's okay. Get a Heatseeker over here. You are under inertia as well.
I think you always throw your last buff there, because if I drop my hand, then
if you drop your hand, it puts me into a position where I have 1 arsenal, and I'd prefer to roll 2 arsenals if possible.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Here is a Ash neutral Yender Eye. Put
Okay.
a little counter on him. Here is a... Because I have Seeker's equipment and Mage Master, I'm still gonna like... I think I'm happy to go to 0 Ash here. I'll go to that. And then I will hope that you don't have another popper in hand. Here's Azalea for 1 and 2.
Yeah, so looking at the current state, since you're under inertia, my best guess is your last card is either a Sigil or a Dust Up, because you have no way to pitch for a 1-cost dragon, and if it was a 0-cost dragon, you just play it in case I did have a popper. So if it's Dust Up at worst, I don't even know if I'm blocking it. I think I'm just going to be taking damage here to try to go big on my next turn. So I'm taking 3 here.
Yeah, and I'll take that as an opening.
3 and 3.
And then here's Passing Mirage.
Oh, Passing Mirage. Okay, yeah, that's another
actually
one.
Huge here, I think, because it sets up like Passing sets up Kylo play, and you can't really interact with it.
Yeah, Passing is pretty rough for when you do draw your Kylorias. My Tunic's going to go to 2.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to start with a... I'd like to start with Read the Glide Path here to confirm what I am either revealing off of Rabble or Azaleaing into. The other chance is to take a risk on Azaleaing the Battering Bolt, but if we miss an arrow there and we also miss on Sandscour load, we're in pretty big trouble.
I think you never do that.
Yeah.
If you have read in hand, you're never blind azaleaing, and I think if
Yeah.
you're worried about an arrow, you never
Yeah.
get rid of the
It's
arrow.
our resource card. But are you wait, you're saying that we should cast read here for sure if we have no arrow in hand?
Do you have no resources? Are you have all? Do you have all reds now?
Yeah. Yeah, this is our hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're doomed anyways. So,
I think it's pretty
uh,
doomed.
yeah, that sucks. I think you honestly, I don't even think you're playing read at all. I think you're just going rabble into battering, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's the best you can do.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that your dragons all right now are above the threshold where a 2 damage rabble would not kill them.
Hmm.
So,
You could pay because you can't play this, but then if you pay with this, you're not going to save an arsenal if you want to get this battering bolt to 12. And
right.
battering bolt's pretty good here. Um, it's a tough decision, I think. But also, if you do miss, then you can just rabble face, or you can sandbag the rabble. So I think it's still better to check, maybe. And you could even play this first. So if this is like a blue arrow, you could load it
Hmm.
in, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think playing the lace and then pitching Fletch to Great Bow here is a pretty good line. So we'll do this. We will pitch to Great Bow, check top. That's interesting. It might even be worth dominating this.
Do you have inertia applied?
I don't have any inertia on this turn. Um, hmm. If I load it from top, it goes to. I can technically get it to 13, but the only on hit is Blood Rot. Um, but there is merit in dominating and just forcing damage through. Yeah, this is a weird line actually.
It's still 13 whether you dominate or not.
Well, the thing with not dominating it is even if it's annoying to block, it's still way better for you to just drop your whole hand.
Is it though? Because there's no on hit that's keeping me from setting up, right? Like if the inertia is applied, you dominate it all day. But if I have any kind of setup card, this doesn't punish me at all. It's just life, right? Um, Whereas your biggest threat in Dragon Dromai is me being able to defend and like just block out a whole turn and then come in with dragons. And honestly, I'm terrible at this matchup because I am incapable of playing against illusionists because I just get so angry. But I'm always, I would probably just load this, take the free card plus, and then I'm sending the battering for like a ton because I either drop my whole hand or you get information or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
It's your call. I'm
Yeah, we'll
also
take this
biased because I
line.
know what my hand is. So
So we can technically save the Rabble here if we're just going to send the battering bolt, and Rabble can be saved for if you do play a Kyloria or Chromai, despite it being a little bit sad that you already have a bunch of dragons set up. But we'll go ahead and do this. I think saving the Rabble is correct here. And this is gonna be for 12.
yeah, because I think you're also still just worried about Kylos and Chromais. That's your biggest problem.
Yeah.
All right, for 12, here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
What's up? This is Jacob in post editing. This is going to be one of a couple of times where I jump in and talk over the video. I think it's a little bit better than writing text on the screen for some of these more complex plays. This turn in specific, I had a lot of play lines available to me, and I wanted to call out. I think I had a better line here where I actually just blind Azalea the battering bolt after I see that I can load a Murkmire. This is going to put the battering bolt back in the deck, so if I shuffle a couple times, it gives me access to a popper. And then I can just go ahead and also pump the Murkmire with the Read the Glide Path and shoot the Murkmire. And then end with a Rabble and Arsenal. The Rabble, if I reveal a red, I'm still probably not sending it to Azalea because it's free to Arsenal and I can wait to kill a Kyloria or Chromai with it. But getting the Battering Bolt back in deck to potentially find as a popper later after shuffling, I think is good value here, as well as getting this pumped a little bit higher. It would end up as 1 more damage because the Murkmire goes from 5 to 7 with the Read the Glide Path buff. The damage most of the time isn't too relevant versus Dromais you get to set up, but I think it's a slightly minimal play line that I wanted to call out and add in as an option here. I will go ahead and Arsenal pass.
All right, here's cringe moment. You ready? Sigil.
Oh no.
Gain 3. Swing Azalea. Dude, they put life gain on this hero. Can you believe that?
Okay. We're gonna block. Oh no, you're swinging Azalea, so I'm taking the Arcane. We drew 3 blue arrows, which is not amazing. And I'm not pumping the Bolt and Shot to where Go Again is relevant. I think I'm probably getting that Heat Seeker and killing the Azalea, which means that I need to block with 2 of my cards. So I'll block the physical here. And then I'll block the physical here. Then I'll take 3 here.
Okay. I think if that's what you're doing, you always wait to block the second Azalea. I may be nitpicking, but like you just gave me more information. If your plan is always to save 2 cards,
yeah, that's fair. It's pretty minimal, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 3. I'm going to Memorial Ground a Heat Seeker to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to Rabble at one of your Azaleas while the Heat Seeker's on top. And then I'm going to Great Bow the Heat Seeker in and shoot the other Azalea. And then just go to end, Spire, gets an aim counter, and pass to you.
Okay, so you took out 2 Azaleas?
Yeah, the reordering of Spire does not matter here, unfortunately.
So, let me actually... this doesn't matter too much. Here is a Seeker's Mitts, Create Ash, Furnace, 1 float after I play this Kyloria.
Okay.
And then we swing Kylo every time.
Yeah, we are unfortunately punished by using a Rabble.
Yeah, part of me wonders if the reason we tend to win more after getting Tumultide is because we're like playing the matchup wrong by prioritizing the double arsenal over just like timing our offense to what Dromai is presenting us.
That is interesting. I think we're going to still be aggressive, and we're going to block this with a card and equipment. And then you have 1 floating right now, so we're not getting CNC'd at least.
I mean, that's not true if this hits and I draw.
Oh, yeah, if it hits, but in the scenario where I'm blocking this, I don't think we're getting CNC'd. I'm going to block with this and Perch Grapplers.
And for everyone watching, the reason he's doing this is because he's saving his Hornet Sting ability for when he needs it, versus just blocking the breakpoint straight up.
Yeah.
This can take out an Ashwing, and it can take out Vinsecarai, which can just win him the game if used correctly.
Yeah.
Here is 3.
This one's going to deal 3.
All right, Arsenal pass.
Okay. We're going to start our turn with Azaleaing the Spire Sniping that was face up in our arsenal. We hit an Infecting Shot, which is actually pretty sick here. We can get it to 10. Let's see. So we're always casting these, and then the final question is, are we pitching Remorseless or Tunic for an Infecting Shot? And it's going to depend on whether I think you can block the Premeditate Ponder token.
Is this Dominate?
Yeah, it's going to be 10 Dominate. for you to block 10, it would take, if you had at best a 4 block in arsenal and then like a 4 block in hand plus equipment. But it's a lot worse if you have a 4 block in arsenal plus a 3 block and a 4 block prevention. So
Yeah.
Dromai can just pull the defense out of anywhere at all times. So I think I'm going to be safe here and just use Tunic Counter for the infecting shot to confirm I'm rolling with a card next turn. So this is going to be 10 at you dominated. So it's pretty strong that I send a dominated infecting shot with Ponder and Inertia on hit here. It is the case that the Ponder doesn't matter because I'm keeping a card in hand anyways. But despite, even if I knew this was on top or not, I think the correct play here was just block a little bit extra with cards, save some life and equipment, and then plan to just kill the Kyloria with my Murkmire Grapnel and Arsenal, and then roll another 2-card Arsenal next turn, leaving Kyloria up, especially when passing Mirages out, so Battering Bolt doesn't need to do anything for me when I draw it, is very dangerous, and we definitely note it later in the game, but I just wanted to note it now for sure. Kyloria is one of the top kill targets for this deck, and you kind of just have to respect it because it caused a lot of snowball in this game.
I think I actually will choose to block 4, opt, holy cow, I'm leaving that straight on top. And then I'm taking 6 and a Blood Rot.
Okay.
And an Inertia.
Yep.
And you're going to find out that I don't care at all.
So I have a Ponder. I will move to end, draw a card, and we are going to be arsenaling the Remorseless.
All right. Time to do Dromai things. Here's Mage Master, Tome of Findall, draw 2, gain 4. I am left at an impasse because I drew into both of my legendary dragons and can put either of them down.
Suffering from success.
Yeah, straight up. That's actually the illusionist way. It's only hard because I'm always winning and I just have to figure out how I can win more. I mean, Tumultai is just way too OP here. And I have passing, so like, why not go for it? Worst case, I probably take your Tunic. Or I could maybe even take your Hornet Sting, I think is maybe more valuable. So yeah, that's what's good. And this actually helps me generate Ash, which I do need. So I'm going to go up to 2 Ash after pitching 2 reds and a blue. And then this is going to invoke. And how does this read? This says when it attacks a hero, so I'm going to attack. And then we're going to flip top 2. 1 hit, 2 hit. Goodbye, New Horizon.
Yikers.
And I also have these next, which is super cringe. And then also this is 5 damage, by the way. Yeah. Uninteractable CNC, and then 5 damage afterwards.
All right. We don't love this. We have to kill this for sure next turn and save some life. So,
and the fact that I have Kylo here is just icing on the cake.
Okay. Yeah, Kylo's pretty annoying.
Wait, you
too.
left that up? Yeah, you're crazy for leaving that up, I think, actually.
Yeah, maybe, but it's like I can't just kill dragons when I have 5-card hands. Like this deck cannot do dragon cleanup for the first 5 turns of the game, unfortunately.
I think you do specifically for Kylo. And nothing else. But this just like makes my hands insane. Although you do know what I'm drawing into and you don't really care about it, so
yeah, you're under inertia. So
yeah, that's a good point. That
card you draw doesn't matter here. I'm going to
actually inertiaing me is actually great for you here.
Yeah, inertia is strong here.
You know, just a casual 12 damage board state.
Okay.
Gain 4.
We're blocking 5. It's funny that we're just gonna let this hit. I guess, have you activated Furnace this turn?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I don't really care about Furnace, actually. I'm just gonna let you hit here.
Right.
And then I'll also take 3 from Yunderai.
And then I guess an end step, because I know I'm gonna get inertia. Oh, I just like yeeted it. Alright.
Yeah.
Gain Ash and 3 resources that I can't use, so.
You can use them to pay for your blood rot, which is
Ooh, that's
cringe.
actually
So
super cringe, to be
I
honest.
should have
Maybe you want
taken
to
one
take
more
that back.
damage and given you the
I think you do
Kylo.
that. I think you do that. Don't try. Like, I think that's a good
Although,
catch.
I don't know. I'd rather you not have the Vincerikai next turn. Maybe it's
No, I'm getting inertia, brother. We established this.
no. If I don't let you draw off Kylo, you draw into the Vincerikai.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So I don't know. This is
I
kind
don't
of
know. You
weird,
still
and
have Hornet Sting up.
this is
You might
true.
be. You might actually want me to have to play this.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
We'll
super
leave it, I
tough.
think. But
It's all right.
this is definitely some weird play lines here.
So in this current state of the game, I think we had another slightly better play. Again, we're faced with a Kyloria that we need to kill. Of course, we need to kill the Tomotai at the same time, but we actually had the tools in hand to kill both of them. It's unfortunate we don't have New Horizon because we would have been able to do some Sandscour shenanigans by knocking for a Heat Seeker and loading off the top, and then Codex of Frailty for a Ravenous Rabble. Rabble kills Kylo, Heat Seeker kills Tomotai, and then we go into our turn with a card in Arsenal from Heatseeker at least. But since New Horizon isn't up, the only difference is that we just can't load before we Codex of Frailty, meaning we have to keep this Lace with the Inertia in hand. Basically, what the line is we take 5 more damage. It sucks going to 12, but we need to clear both of these dragons. Our turn is going to start with knock the Death Whistle, putting a Heatseeker on top. And then we Codex of Frailty for a Ravenous Rabble. We're going to have to discard the Lace with the Inertia here, which we keep in hand because we know we're going to have to discard it. Ravenous Rabble is going to kill Kyloria with Go again, and then we're going to pitch the Spire Sniping to load Heatseeker off the top with Great Bow into our open arsenal, and Heatseeker is going to kill Tomotai, and then we're going to end our turn with the card face up in arsenal. So we take 5 extra damage, but it at least allows us to kill the Kyloria on this turn. Like I said in the other thing, we should have just killed Kyloria last turn, so we're digging ourselves deeper and deeper into the hole. And this turn, we're ignoring it one more time, and it's just going to continue snowballing. So definitely leaving up Kyloria this long is a big misplay. And seeing the double dragon clear this turn would have at least helped us get a little bit out of the hole.
So
all right, I paid for the blood rot.
You get to pay for the blood rot. Tunic's going to go to 1. I'm going to pitch into Great Bow.
Okay.
We don't get to load off top, and then I'm going to Codex of Frailty. I'm grabbing Heatseeker. You can grab an attack.
Sure. Here's going to be.
Did you not want the Frailty
token? Oh, I do have the Sweeping Blow. Guess because I have to. I think you're gonna go for Tomotai, so I think the discard play is going to be what is actually better for me here. I'll discard Dromai.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna pay 1 to shoot Tomotai with Heatseeker.
Cool.
I don't know the top card. Oh no, I do know the top card of my deck is Fletch, and I would like that to be the face down card. So I'm gonna do Ponder first, draw the Fletch, and then flip this. Drill Shot goes face up with the aim, and then I Arsenal. Oh no, I don't have New Horizon. That's so cringe.
Yeah, dude.
That is cringe.
It's real tough.
Okay. Maybe I should have Heatseekered first.
All right, so I didn't consider the fact that Passing Mirage takes away my Phantasm for Dragon. So now I'm understanding the use case for Miragi and Passing. So this is going to come down for 3 go again, create 2 Ash going to 5 Ash.
Okay. It is 2 because of the Frailty
2
token.
go again. Yes,
I will be taking
I yeeted this away. I wanted nothing to do with it. Here is Kylo for 4. Go again. Hard draw and hit.
I don't think there's ever a world where we win this game.
No, it's a big L, but you're gonna do it on camera for the masses. So that they can help us try to make this a winnable matchup. Yeah, it's extremely frustrating to play a deck.
I saw my eye, so I'm at least not blind Azaleaing into eye, but I don't know. I don't think there's actually no other misses that I could blind Azalea into here. So we're just gonna take this damage and be aggressive.
Either the game
Alright.
ends fast, or I like blind Azalea into red in the ledger and get lucky.
Um.
And game ends just 2 turns later than it normally would.
Yeah. Here's this much.
Take 3.
Here's
you have a
furnace.
CNC in hand?
Yeah,
that
I
I
do.
forgot about.
Here's a furnace and a CNC. Yeah, you did forget about it.
Yikers. I did know that was in your hand after all.
Yep.
I mean, I guess.
Like, I guess your best play was actually block the Kylo, then block the CNC, and then just shoot the drill shot at the Kylo. That was the best play you had. And then even then, I'm just like,
that's very
still have
cringe and
Yenrai.
also true, unfortunately, I think.
Yeah. You got to play with the information you have, folks. You can't let the illusionist despair arc overcome you.
Yeah, when there's no stakes on the recording game, I'm making misplays. But in my 2 Dromai games at the calling, I was at the top of my game for sure.
It's all right. We're here to discuss how this should work. This is a theory game. This is a theory game, Jacob. Don't worry about it. No one would expect someone who top 8'd like the largest calling ever on a Sandscour Greybow deck to actually know how to play the deck.
Yikes. I'm going to block 6 here.
Arsenal fast.
This is just so sad. 2 goes to 2. Honestly...
Oh, I actually created an Ash there. Sorry.
I just have to kill the Kyloria. It's so bad.
Sure do. Yep.
Yeah, we just have to kill the Kyloria. Your note about killing Kylo earlier was for sure also true. And
There's just too much pressure here.
Yeah.
You have to like... So what I've learned from my recent testing games is you have to identify what turns you just have to take off, and then get closer to your pop-off and recognize that you may never actually pop off because Dromai just has too many broken plays.
Yes.
But, you know, we do what we can. Because I am just so absolutely offensively oppressive here.
This is dead, by the way.
Oh, it is. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna have another one of them here in a second.
Yikes.
And because you're so low, I don't need the sand cover. So I'll summon that, and then I'll actually swing with it with no phantasm.
Okay, here's 4.
All right. Then I'm going to furnace. Dude, I should not be able to pitch 2 reds for 3 resources and then have 3 block on the board. This is crazy. Here's Yenderai and Miragi.
Oh my god.
Here's a Yenderai swing.
This is 8 damage on board.
Yeah, 8 damage on board. And I only played a 4-card hand, by the way.
1, 2, 3. I mean, Tunic counter is like my only hope. So here, this, I'll take 1 and show you the top card is a Lace with Blood Rot, which is going to the bottom, and then I'll take 3 more.
Okay, cool.
Azalea, our only hope. Ooh, a Dominator Remorseless. Tunic's supposed to go to 3 here.
Okay.
I guess we have to kill the Kyloria with the Remorseless and then Arsenal pass.
Yeah, this really is Doomer, huh?
Still 8 damage on board.
Sick.
Actually can't win.
Furnace is after I play a red card, which is so sick. That's so disgusting. It should say if you've already pitched a red card, you can pitch another one. But like the fact that I can just like dump red cards in for Ash for nothing is pretty bonkers.
Oh yeah.
And now that you have no Hornet Sting, I'm gonna swing this with a real nice go again.
Here's 6.
Here is 3.
Here's 1, 2, take 1.
Here's 3.
I'm gonna Memorial Ground this Remorseless on top and die.
Yeah, nice.
Oh no. This was
if you shot the Remorseless at me, it was gonna be so BM.
What?
It was gonna be so BM if you threw the Remorseless at me because I just had a double Oasis.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, so it is Doomer mode, and it's very hard to win. But if you go back and you Doctor Who this game and imagine the endless possibilities of all of the different gate turns where we like argued about what we were supposed to do, none of those decisions are easy, and it's possible that one of us, like, I did the wrong thing or whatever, and maybe the game ends like with Dromai on 15 instead of 30 when I lose. But yeah, it's very hard, and we don't know. We really don't know what the best way to win this matchup is. We're trying lots of different stuff. I think a lot of people have brought up trying Dreadbore and going to a couple extra Bolton shots to help with board clearing, because you get the reload off Bolton shot when you kill a dragon, I believe. And then you can go from there and kind of keep pressure up while you're clearing dragons. And then the Bolton shot defense react from hand text is not irrelevant versus Dromai, but you also lose card advantage from the Great Bow, which Dromai can pressure you a lot more than Oldhim can, so that could also be relevant. Other things we're testing are like, I don't even know, like we can test more poppers. I know the Death Dealer list runs 4 or 5 poppers at this point, but yeah, there's lots of different stuff to test. I think Dromai is the main matchup that needs to be cracked right now, and it's pretty much terrible in the current iteration versus the big dragon deck.
All right, Jacob, since we have time, do you want to play against Mara's list now just so that we can compare?
Yeah, we can play versus the Redline list as well and see what happens. I will say, I don't think that we are favored versus the Redline list because they still get to run the good dragons. But I do think it's not as bad as Big Dragon because they don't have as good of a defense, if I remember correctly. And also we can just basically hit them with Red and Ledger more often.
Yep. I also do want to say, and this is totally going to sound like Cope, I do believe it's a solvable matchup.
Solvable?
I think it's a solvable matchup. I think it's going to be playstyle and deck decisions. Like, for instance, I was not in agreement on a few of your...
Yeah.
Like the choice to keep Kylo up an extra turn, all of that. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that how Bravo played against Prism was his solution for the matchup, where his entire 15-card sideboard was dedicated to Prism, then maybe we added all the bolted shots, all the Ravels. No, I'm just kidding. I agree, though. I think there must be something there. The Ranger card pool is fairly large at this point, and there's a lot of unexplored territory in here. So it's something we're definitely looking at internally to try to find a solution for. Otherwise, I don't think I'm playing this deck because my local meta is swarmed with Dromais for RTN season.
Yeah, very cringe, South Florida. Very cringe. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what I'm doing to Mara's list here. I'm obviously bringing in the breaking points and the defensive cards, so that's 3 Sink Belows, 1 Sand Cover, 3 breaking points. I am debating the Passing Mirage. Because this deck plays so much red and and wants to use Furnace, I'm going to say no to the Passing Mirage. And so now the question comes of, what am I going to be taking out? And I think the answer is going to be things like Snatch, because I don't think I win by going wide and then punishing with an attack. I think I win by Dragon Board State, and then he's just unable to interact with me. We have Flame Call Awakenings in here with a Phoenix Flame, which I think is decent, but I won't. You think it's main board? Yeah. Just for like the utility of the extra pitch?
Pitching the red for Furnace to enable all your 2-cost stuff is like, I think, one of the main tenets of this deck, actually.
Okay. So, maybe Nourishing Emptiness is a little win more. I think Miraging Metamorph is because it's not a longer game. Miraging Metamorph is really strong because it's a Red in the Ledger answer. So if I get Red in the Ledger to say, here's Miraging for 7, deal with it. Same thing with E-Strike, that's why that's staying in. Billing Mirage is also very strong here. If Flame Call is a core engine of the deck... Oh, you know what I don't need? I don't need Thamai's, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Thamai can come out.
I think I'm going to play this 2 nourishing and 1 because I have 9 slots. Okay, no. So I'm just gonna bring in the 2 nourishing here. It's a block 3, and it also is pretty win more. Yeah. And then that'll be a core 60. I didn't see any
is also
blues
not a horrible play after getting red in the ledger.
Yeah, I mean 2 for 6 is pretty strong.
Yeah. If you get your burn them alls out early, this card's very consistent.
Cool. So let's go ahead and get in this game. Sounds also, good. Shout out to Jacob for getting steamrolled in the first game, because it gives us enough time to record 2 videos in one evening. So shout out, Jacob. And I'm going first as per the... oh, you're kidding me, bro. This is disgusting. Here's nourishing.
Oh, no.
For 6... I mean, I guess you could throw your stuff out. I could have maybe put Miraging, but if you give me your armor, I'm chilling here, I think. This game is so much easier if you give me 2 pieces of armor.
Yeah, this is really rough.
Dude,
I think I'm never punished take
when I play Dromai.
What?
I'm never punished when I play Dromai.
Oh. Yeah. I think later on, giving my equipment to pop an Ashwing with Hornet Sting, and I definitely don't want to give Tunic this early, is going to be more relevant. So I just have to kind of take the L.
You're not going to block 3? You're going to hold the whole hand?
No, we're going to block 3. I do need to figure out which arrow I'm blocking with, and it's probably the blue here, because I have a yellow for my Heat Seeker if I need to, and we're going to take 3.
This Nourishing Emptiness block is very scary and debatable. I actually, looking back, think it may have been correct to just give the Perch Grapplers and Hornet Sting here. While it's true that Hornet Sting can kill a Vincerikai or a Ashwing on a big chain of Ashwings with paired with Memorial Ground, that's somewhat situational, and stopping them from getting an entire extra card and steamrolling me from the start of the game might have just been too much value to pass up here. We kind of can tell they're on Redline Dromai given the Snapdragon scalers on the other side of the board. You can't be sure, but versus the Redline Dromai, you need to not lose momentum early because they can do so much damage, and you need to keep your life total high while you look for your disruption. And letting the Dromai get a 6-card hand here may just have been worth it to stop with our Perch Goblers and Hornet Sting. And later on, we'll be a little bit punished on having to block Kylorias with Tunic. But versus Redline, we're kind of hoping to just see our disruption, and their lack of defenses should make it so that it's harder to get later in the game where chaining Kylorias back-to-back is going to be killing us. Like I said, it may still not be right to block with equipment, but I think there's worth putting a lot of thought into this block, to be honest.
Just put it on the record that I'm just better than all the Dromais you played against. That's really what's happening.
I'll draw 1. Tunic goes to 1. Okay. I have a pitch now, so I get to opt first. I'm going to read the glide path. I have Ophidia stay. Well, honestly, I could try to get card advantage, but
next turn.
So I have Ophidia is going to be guaranteed card advantage next turn, pretty much. Or I could take a chance at getting card advantage this turn.
What do you have in hand?
I actually have a Heat Seeker in hand, so if you do let the Heat Seeker hit...
the Heat Seeker all day. Oh, then it'll flip face up.
Then leaving I there is irrelevant, so I actually kind of just want to bottom it.
Yeah. If that's a Remorseless, you're gaming.
Yeah, we're going to pitch to Bow. We get to load a Murkmire, which actually I do like the card advantage here. And
do you have inertia?
Blood Rot. And shoot this, and then I'll just keep a card in hand instead of well, this is interesting. No, yeah, there's a chance that you block the Heat Seeker out if I send it, so I'd rather confirm card advantage here.
This deck is kind of bananas.
This is 10.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a no block situation here.
Okay.
Just because I think I can just steal the game from you on the next turn, but let me think about it for a second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not inertia. I'll take 10.
Yeah, so you're gonna get a Blood Rot, and I will pass.
I will say Blood Rot's pretty poggers against this deck, though.
Yeah, you can't really pay for it very nicely.
Resourcing, doing my resource things.
6-card hand. This could be like 24 damage or more. Just have like a rabble and then the other 0 for 4 go again.
Wait, let me think about that. No, that might be troll. Let me see. I only need. No, I need to be able to create Ash. That's fine. 3 go again. No Ash. I'm not gonna create an Ashwing. I think
I'll take 3.
this deck's actually kind of hard. I have to like being optimal with a board state like this is always so interesting. All right, here's Chromai. Swing with Chromai for 3 with an action point gain.
We take 3.
All right, yeah, I should have kept the dust up. I needed to pitch. I needed to pitch here. Yeah, that was troll. I have 2 Chromais in hand. I'm doing that. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
This was just too fundamentally incorrect.
Yeah, the second Chromite basically confirms the dust up action point.
Yeah,
so I took the Chromite damage.
Yeah, and then here's this.
We will be taking this as well.
Okay, so I'll Ash neutral, create an Ashwing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have. Yeah, I pitched that for the line. Okay. Wait. I'm gonna invoke a Chromai, and then I'll swing that one.
Yeah, we're gonna take 3 again.
Here's an Ashwing for 1.
Take 1.
Oh, hold on. I had to lose an Ash there. Am I furnacing or am I arsenaling? I'll arsenal. That's fine. If I have no Ash, I'll furnace, but there we go. That's good. There's damage.
Tunic goes to 2. I will start with Azalea.
Okay.
Place with Inertia. I will pitch to Great Bow. Check top. Yikes. I guess I didn't really have to show you that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But
I have 2 Chromais anyways. Unless you clear them, you can.
You do have 2, but I will probably leave that on top and load from hand.
Okay.
And then the Remorseless effect is going to be alive. I'm going to do... this goes to 11. So I don't think there's need to send the final Inertia, because this deck, I already know you're on Redline, Dromai, based on the cards I've seen. You have some more 2 blocks in your deck than the other Dromai deck, so this is going to be harder to block. So one of the important things about Sandscour Greatbow in general is knowing when you need to actually sandbag extra things. Given that Remorseless and Inertia is already a pretty strong effect, if I send just one of my Inertia buffs and Remorseless goes to 8, it's going to be requiring 2 cards and an equipment. We're pretty happy to buy an equipment early for that. And if the opponent is no blocking, the extra Inertia buff here doesn't matter either. And especially Redline Dromai has a pretty easy time just spitting out their entire hand and ignoring the Inertia tokens. So I think it may actually have been right here to hold back the second Inertia buff as well. The benefit of holding back a double Arsenal is next turn, even though I have 2 Inertias in Arsenal, it's actually going to let me blind Azalea my face down Lace with Inertia, which will open up a couple more options on play lines for the turn, and I can still cast my face up Lace with Inertia if it makes sense for the turn. So given that the Redline Dromai generally doesn't want to block anyways, I think here it's probably correct to just send the Remorseless for 8 and sandbag the second Inertia and roll a double Arsenal to give myself more flexibility in future turns when I find real disruption, because Remorseless, where it will deal a couple damage to this deck, it's not actually disruption. This deck will just take raw damage all day if it's not disrupting them.
I'm taking 2 to the Blood Rot from last turn.
Oh, true.
This is for 11.
Yeah, this is 11.
And playing, yeah, I don't care.
Okay, we will pass.
Yeah, 2 Chromais is just like free. Here's Miragi. And then swing with Dromai, gain action point, can't pop it.
Take 3.
Here's a Furnace for Yenderai, 1 float. Swing Dromai.
We'll pop the second Dromai at least.
Alright, so I still have 2 action points.
You should have 1. Oh no, yeah, you're right.
No, because
I've
I've gained 2 extras. So for that reason, I'll swing 1 Ashwing.
You have 2 action points, so giving the Hornet's Sting here is irrelevant. I'll take 1.
It is. Here's 3.
Take 3. One of these is dead, by the way.
Here's 2.
Yeah. Take 2.
Here's Breaking Point.
Oh god.
Yeah. I think this is actually a super winnable matchup for you if you don't see double Dromai. Yeah.
But
as Dromai does, she just wins games.
We'll give 5 here. We're gonna rabble the Dromai. It reveals a Deadeye on top.
Pick.
And then
you can actually win this, honestly.
Codex is going to give me, I guess, Remorseless is my best. I mean, I could get a 0 cost to
I was supposed to take 3 damage from Remorseless last turn, so I took it.
Nice.
Yep.
Remorseless, and then...
Alright, everybody in the YouTube comment section, make sure you watch the whole match before you comment about how many misplays there are, because we correct.
So, I could get a Murkmire to save my Tunic counter, but I think Remorseless is pretty fine here. Codex of Frailty.
Well, if you're juicing me, you should do that. But...
yeah. So here's a Ponder and a Frailty. You get to get back in attack as well. Off of my
but I do have to discard. I have a. I guess I'll get the Breaking Point, and then I'll discard a CNC.
Breaking Point's pretty good. I do actually have another line, since I know there's a Deadeye on top. I could have Azalea'd into the Deadeye and gotten Murkmire and used Tunic to send Deadeye plus Murkmire for 7. But you have so much equipment up that that's still pretty easy to block. So I'm going to do this for 8. The Direct Clause is not live because it was face down, but it doesn't really matter anyways because you don't have a Direct in Arsenal. This is 8 coming at you, not dominated.
So it's a close one. I can't ignore you. It's annoying. I think I'm gonna play a little bit conservative, to be honest. I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna pay into Seeker's Mitts. I'm gonna opt, and then I'm gonna give you a Kylo to cover 8.
Okay.
Let me opt first. Opt to Reno.
Yeah, you do get to opt with Mitts before the bottoming for Crown, which is very nice here.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I don't think it matters, to be honest. I'm going to bottom this, and then I'll draw, and that's going to give me 8. So.
Okay.
That's good. You do have a Ponder draw, though.
Yep, I'll Ponder into the Deadeye and pass.
It's pretty good. Snaps is so sick in this list.
Yeah, I think
I would have been higher
because of the snaps as well, but
yeah, that's what it was. I never considered the possibility of the Snapdragons working against me like this. Here's another Kylo. It's Ash neutral, swinging for 4 on hit, draw card.
Definitely not letting you hit here.
Whoever at LSS made the decision to not have Frailty affect allies, I think was wrong. It had to have come up. All right. Here's Yenderai for 3. You
get to pop the Yenderai, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that one because I was like, I almost slipped and swung Miragi. I know it's pretty basic, but
yeah,
I like to watch Illusionist burn.
We can either start with blind Azaleaing our Deadeye and shooting a red in the ledger, or we can just red in the ledger for 8 with Deadeye effect and maybe get a Great Bow off the top. If I blind Azalea into an arrow for 5, it's pretty good because you only have 1 equipment up. but I just think that sending 8 with a chance at a Great Bow plus is pretty good here. So I'm going to send Deadeye first, and then I will check with Great Bow using my second resource. That will stay on top, and I'll load Red in the Ledger from hand, and then I will pay 1 to shoot you for 8. So the aim effect is not live, but just the Red in the Ledger is. This is another similar scenario to last game, where I'm pretty sure I just needed to kill the Kyloria here. My life total being 14 is theoretically high enough to survive a big turn from the opponent if they present no on-hit effects, and I could potentially clap back with some other stuff. Getting a Red in the Ledger into graveyard here is fine because I may be drawn to a Memorial Ground later. But yeah, letting the Kyloria live so long is going to be my downfall, just like last game. It is in this game. What the play would have been is I blind Azalea my face down card in Arsenal, and then I pitch my Bolt and Shot to Great Bow load. Blind Azalea actually lets us dig 1 card deeper, so maybe we end up finding an arrow off the top with Great Bow, and we can kill the Kyloria with the arrow off the top and then face down Arsenal the Red in the Ledger. And then if we don't find an arrow off the top, we just have to kill it with Red in the Ledger and go into our next turn with 1 card in Arsenal. I got a little bit tunnel visioned on sending a big Red in the Ledger, but it is the case that the Redline Dromai deck can just block with 3 cards, do a 0-cost red, and send their whole board of dragons with you. It's not a very good scenario that you want to find yourself in, so time and time again, it's very clear that killing Kylorias is super high priority in these matchups. And I'll pass.
Yeah, here's cringe. Sigil Kylo. Yeah, Sigil Kylo, no Phantasm.
We could consider giving New Horizon. It's kind of sus. But we need to get rid of the Kylo as well. So we could set up by trying to get rid of the Kylo and save New Horizon for 1 more turn. Don't really love many of our options. I can send another 8 next turn if I give New Horizon. I'm going to take the slightly more aggressive line. I still have 2 Rabbles that I can draw into, and we're just going to hope for the best and be aggressive. So I'm going to give 4 here and then take your
well, don't tell me that. I was going to hold back the Miragi. I'm swinging Aether.
Oh, okay.
Because if you pop Miragi here, right, you can pop and then take down Kyloria and my board state's gone, which is actually pretty bad.
I already have 2 batteries in my graveyard.
I know. I don't know if you have C and C though. Like if I'm playing neutral, like if I'm playing into the list, yeah, you have 1 battery. But even so, like this is only 2 damage, whereas not swinging 100% means you're attacking one of these 2 dragons next turn.
That's fair.
So just 1 here.
Yeah, I took the 1 from that.
Yep. I think. And if you take them both down, then I just don't care.
Yep. At the risk of sounding extremely repetitive, this is clearly another turn where we just need to kill the Kyloria. We would have been able to save our New Horizon theoretically by also blocking with Premeditate, but I think I actually do like saving the Premeditate in Arsenal in case we pitch the Spire and don't see an arrow off the top. We still get to load the Red in the Ledger, shoot the Kyloria in Arsenal to Premeditate, and go into our next turn with a buff that we can either play out or Azalea if we have some information about the top deck. But our life total is still relatively high, and getting rid of the Kyloria means their board state's getting pretty low, and they only have 1 Ash up, so they might end up getting a little restricted on what plays they can make. And if we can weather the storm a little bit longer, hopefully we can find some Memorial Grounds to start dominating Red in the Ledgers when they have no equipment up to block them. So I'm going to trigger Great Bow. The top card is not an arrow. I'll load a Red in the Ledger from hand, and then I will shoot it with Premeditate at you for 8. We also get to pop an Ashwing with a Memorial Ground if we ever draw into it.
Dude, it never happens, am I right?
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen. Yeah, there's 9.
My first Memorial Ground that I drew last game was on the turn where I had lethal.
Here's Rabble for 4. And
Rabble, what was on top? I didn't see.
Sigil. Yeah, it's Sigil.
Sigil, cringe.
Yeah, it's super cringe.
Okay, it's Sigil, and I don't know if this... I haven't seen if this deck is running any defense reactions or...
I I pitched one.
Oh
I
wait.
pitched a
Oh, that's
Syncpalor
true.
to play
Yeah, I do
Kylo.
remember you pitching that actually.
And I've pitched a sand cover.
So, Red and Ledger for 5 dominate might not get us there. I mean, we're taking this 4 all day.
Yep. Here's Kylo.
But I just have to figure out what I'm doing about the Kyloria.
You know what the worst part about Hornet Sting into Dromai is? You can't even target Dromai.
Oh yeah, if you do want to not kill a dragon.
Yeah, it's super cringe.
Yeah.
Well, it also has to be the attacking dragon, right? So like you can't have a Vincent and attack with, you know, and you attack with Kylo, and I can't just be like, oh no, redirect the hit to the Vinsec.
Right.
It's tough.
If we were to potentially block out and then try to kill your Kyloria, I mean, if I had a Heat Seeker in hand, this would be much better. We give ourselves the opening to maybe draw into Memorial Ground next turn and start taking a lot of momentum. But your 4-card hand also next turn could just rip my entire hand because I'm on low life. So,
Yeah, T0 Nourishing Emptiness is a little cracked.
Turn 0 Nourishing is indeed quite unfortunate.
Should have another line of text that says, unless it's turn 0.
Play it on turn 0. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is quite yikers. But we're going to, I think, kill the Kyloria next turn.
Here's 1.
Take 1.
And then I'm going to swing here because you only have 2 cards in hand. So
I'll take 2.
if you wanted to like pop and then whatever, you wouldn't be able to.
We're going to pitch in a Great Bow.
Okay, sick.
We see a Spire, so this is actually nice. We get to
transfer Dom.
I guess we get to technically check if we can dominate something cool. We cannot. And then we're just going to send the Spire at Kylo and then Arsenal pass.
I'm playing playtest brain and looking at, you know how I like reflexively when we play test, I always check what you're actually looking at. We just did that.
Actually. So we'll pass.
This
guy's dead.
Oh, it's dead? You killed it?
I killed it with
Cringe,
the Spire.
bro. Yeah. I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. Still not drawing the card that I would like to draw. Which is yellow and doesn't block.
Here's an E-Strike drawing a card.
E-Strike draw with snaps.
Dude, this is
up.
disgusting. This is so disgusting.
Crazy. This is just so this
honestly,
matchup with Redline
this
isn't
Dromai.
Doomer, but this is the Doomer mode point of the matchup where you actually have no good decisions. So
this is the least cringe way to play Dromai, by the way.
I'm gonna block 5.
Here.
Maybe we get blown out by CNC and
here's Blaze Headlong for 4.
Yeah, no, I think we're just losing this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Here's Miragi. So you can't Hornet Sting me.
1, 2.
Here's Breaking Point for 5.
Sick. Even if I saved my blocks, it still doesn't matter because it's lethal.
Yikes.
So I will point this out. I didn't get to see this is Cope, but I didn't get to see my knock or Memorial Ground at all.
Both games, by the way,
to dominate
both
Red in the
games
Ledgers.
you absolutely could do nothing.
And if I did see dominated Red in the Ledgers, this game looks a lot closer. But yeah, this was pretty destruction mode, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything else to point out about this specific matchup?
I actually did. At that one point where we were both around like 14, I was sweating a little bit. I might actually be lower. No, I did block out one of your Remorselesses. But I think you can't ever afford when I have a board state with a Kylo on it. And this was to my point of the first game, Jacob. You were sending attacks at me for 8 because they were good on hits, but I had Kylo out.
Yeah.
So they meant nothing because it's just block 3, play 0 cost, and like go through the whole song and dance again.
And this deck actually has even more 0 costs than the Big Dragon deck.
Yeah, and I think you codexed a Remorseless when you had a Heat Seeker available, and honestly the play should...
If I had Heat Seeker, I was going to search that for sure.
Yeah, I think I think you just needed to be attacking the Kylo immediately.
Yeah.
There was also an opportunity for you to fetch a Bolton shot at that point, I think maybe, and you could have actually just buffed it, taken out the Kylo, and then shot the Remorseless off the reload at the Miragi, and then you would have still had Ponder into a 5-card hand. So I think you got to be looking for those flexible play lines.
Yeah.
And I think you missed them there.
Yeah. I'm just sending out a RIP in peace to my Memorial Ground. Best card in deck, never drawn.
Everyone watching, don't worry. I'm going to fix the Dromai matchup, and Jacob's going to take it to RTN and win, and then we'll come back with another deck tech. So
that's the goal.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Nice. So we lost hard pretty much. I don't have many other comments. You do need to find your disruption early, including against the Redline deck, to be able to stand a chance.
I don't agree. Like, so I don't have the data to prove it, by the way, Jacob. But in the few reps I've been getting over the last week, this is all I've played since the calling, right? Is the Dromai matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm learning is that this becomes a reactive game for Sandscour Greatbow, playing your deck resource against Dromai's deck resource.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not typically the type of matchup you'd want to play on a deck like ours. I can see us getting to a point where we're playing with a higher density of arrows, because we are taking arrows out in this matchup.
Yeah.
And we're playing the Remembrance specifically because we're expecting the game to go a little bit long, and we need Dromai to run out of key deck resources.
Interesting.
That's where I think this matchup is going. And yeah, so I at least that's where I hope it goes, because I think we can win. I think it becomes very frustrating and Swiss to play this matchup, but I think it's just what it has to be.
Yeah, it's definitely worth exploring all of the different potential strategies to beat this deck. But yeah, we will keep you guys updated on our progress versus Dromai, if it even works in the RTN season. Otherwise, you'll see me playing Oldhim or Lexi. But yeah, other than that, thanks everyone for watching the Doomer mode, most doomerest of matchups. Classic Guardian player Jacob always losing to Illusionists. Now I'm losing on my other class as well. But hopefully you guys get like some knowledge out of this. I would say you can see where the matchup goes wrong for sure in these videos. So if you also have some ideas to test, let us know what you guys are trying out versus Dromai. And hopefully you liked the video. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, send a dislike, because it's still interaction and it's still engagement. So checkmate. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.